Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from Bookish Fangirl, and Team Lines of Poetry collection, and Gathering Faith, my upcoming manga, which I hope will be releasing this spring. Welcome back to another Top 5 Wednesday. I'm so excited you're here. If you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, it was formed by Lainey in 2013. Basically, we have a prompt, and then we choose 5 books or manga that fit that said prompt and share on YouTube or on our blog. And today's prompt is a fun one. It's also an interesting one, and I think it was really hard for me to do. And that said prompt for today is, can you please repeat that? Basically, it's words that we have found when we are reading that are either hard to pronounce or we're just like, we have no idea whatsoever how to even say this, so we're not going to. Or in this case, I wanted to sort of do like, it took me a long time to learn, or that I'm still learning, trying how to say, because I'm definitely in that position as well. Since this is the manga edition, I thought that there were quite a few words that were hard for me to pronounce. I know some Japanese, though I have not been diligent on learning it this year, but I thought, yeah, I would just spotlight some character names that I found personally hard to say. So I guess to kick us off, I will go with the name that I'm still trying to learn how to say and not 100% sure if I'm saying it right. I'm still doing research on it, and basically when I say research, I mean listening to Japanese speakers say that sound over and over and over again in hopes that I'm saying it right, or at least trying to say it right, learning how to say it right, however you would say that. And that is Fumi from QQ Sweeper / Queen's Quality. Well, they're two different series, but like QQ Sweeper is the prequel to Queen's Quality. I have a hard time saying the fu. That is how you would say it in English. That's not how you would say it in Japanese. And that is one of the sounds that I've really struggled with trying to say, because in Japanese, to English speakers at least, I've seen a lot of people say it could sound like fu or it could sound like hu. So I have been working really hard, and I found a video that shows how to say it, and I think I might have said it right, but Fumi is one name that I really struggle saying. So any of those fu sounds have been really hard. For number 2, this sound I also struggled with, and saying her name felt like so long, but I was determined how to say it, and that was Tsusugumi from Perfect World. So Tsu, took me forever to say. It really felt like that. I struggled so much with that T sound, and my friends are like, say it like this. And I'm like, I just can't say it. So Tsusugumi was really hard for me to say her name for a really long time. I took such great effort in learning how to say her name, and I'm hoping that I'm saying it correctly. For number 3, it's a different kind of sound, and I struggled with that because I feel like sometimes I'm not sure if I am saying it correct, more or less, and I'm going to go ahead and say what book it's from, or manga, and it's That Wolf Boy Is Mine, and it's you. I made the oo sound longer because when you look at his name, he has the line over it, and that usually means it's OU, and you need to extend the sound of the second half of it. So I'm thinking it's you, but I struggle with am I holding out that sound long enough? And I did see that he also has that line over his last name, so I think it'd be Ogami, I think that's how you would say it. That has sort of been tricky for me because I'm just not sure how long you're supposed to say it, because in Japanese they say it so quickly, and I'm like, I think I'm holding it the right amount of time for a non-Japanese speaker. The next one, for number 4, has so many hard names in it. Well, not particularly this volume, but in general, and that is haiku. So Hinata is amazing and saved the day by giving nicknames to characters, and I really appreciate that because there's a lot of names. Like Suzuki, his full name, it's so intimidating to me. And some of the school names, I definitely use nicknames like Japan, the Great King, just all of them. And so when I got this volume, it's funny because trying to keep this vague because I don't want to give spoilers, but when we meet the Great King in this volume, Hinata does not call him the Great King. So it took me a moment to translate the Great King to Oikiwa. And hopefully I'm saying that right too, because he's just always been the Great King. I was like, he hasn't been his actual name. That's just been an interesting thing. And so there's a lot of character names in here that I really struggle with, and I just take the easy way out and opt for Hinata's nicknames than actually trying to say their names. For number 5, I also have this problem in this manga, and that is My Hero Academia. So for My Hero Academia, I can remember their character names, but their actual names, I'm like, who is that? When I talk to my younger sister, she knows like all their names. She really loves My Hero Academia as well. And I just have not taken the time to learn actual people's names. So when she's telling me like about Eraserhead, I'm like, who is that? Like, just call me Eraserhead for me. Any of them that just, I go by their hero names. And so I'm going to say that's just a struggle for me to remember or like remember what their first names are. So I definitely have that moment of, can you please repeat that when talking to my sister? Because I'm like, who is that? Just say their character name. Just say their hero name for me so I know who you're talking about, which I have done on more than one occasion when I've talked to her. And those are my top 5 basically like character names or characters in general from manga that I have a hard time like pronouncing or remembering. But what about you? What are some hard character names that you've like, man, I have to do research on how to say this correctly in Japanese? I would love to hear from you, friends. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!